All right, so greetings. This is RobertFoertsch, and I wanted to show you the fog and whatever is in that fog. Not exactly sure. You got the Truthmobile here. Wanted to show you that. And still, the Word of God, Bible.com, is available in all the major languages. And I'm going to cover a few things about my deep learning AI research library that are linked up with my name and phone number and across multiple platforms. Cool thing about the Prius here, it's a 2008 second generation. It has a large generator on it to charge up the battery, the hybrid battery that gets her going again, and the on a takeoff from a stop. And the drag coefficient from this is 0.22. Tesla Model Y, or no, it's 0.23, and a Tesla Model Y is 0.23. Very aerodynamic, energy conservative. Let me, let's see how this looks if I flip it around. Yeah, so you can see in the light beam here, there's a lot of particulate. Some of it is, of course, humidity, moisture, and then whatever else is in that. There is weather modification technology. I talk about it. I talk about artificial intelligence, world central banking, creating money out of thin air. The military, medical, and financial industrial complexes and the personalities that are behind that. Alrighty, so let's see how this goes. Let's see where this goes, kind of like the Merovingian on the Matrix. The whole situation, let me see, I need to slide that over a little bit. This whole situation to me is hilarious. In some in other respects, it's painful to watch the pain and suffering in the world that's intentionally caused by entities that in many cases are non-human, and then the human beings that are manipulated by them. So this is a crystal glass that I'll spit in while I'm driving. The mucous membrane traps particulate. I would rather spit that out than be swallowing it. I've got a container just like that, or a crystal glass just like that, in my bedroom next to where I manage my deep learning AI research library. We're going to head on towards the beach. I'm facing directly north right now. And I'm about 4 miles from the coastal South Carolina at the North Carolina border, close to it. The Cherry Grove Pier in front of the Prince Resort is about 4 miles from the North Carolina border. You can check that out. We've got a fog warning today. People are going to die probably in different parts of the country because of fog, because of slippery roads, and a variety of other reasons. Interestingly enough, in the last 5 years, there was one reason that almost everybody died. You can look at the history of that starting in 2020. Interesting. So, in that, today is February 3rd of 2025. So you can look at the history to get more data on what I'm talking about here. Because I don't want to directly refer to it in some kind of trick language or anything like that. I don't need to do that. And it is a Monday, so there will be a lot of people racing to work. We're less than 10 minutes away from the Seacoast Medical, so there will probably be a lot of people racing to get there. And I'm not in the lane I'm in to bug people. There will be people that are going to want to go south on 31, so they're not going to want me to be in the right lane. And then there are people that are not doing that, and they're not going to want to see me in the left lane. And then we've got people merging. I'm in the through lane. I'm not the enforcer. I'm not trying to bug people. I simply want to get where I'm going as quick as I can legally, and everybody else can work out their personal time management and responsibilities and whatever they are. And to some, that pisses a lot of people off. Oh well, I don't mind. I'm used to that. I like actually to upset the proud, arrogant, wealthy controllers, and poor people can be proud too. Men and women, children, it could be anybody that gets upset and that is proud. Largely, people believe what they want to believe. I'm going to cut my indoor light off. I don't need to have it on. And people tailgate sometimes, not always. But what does that have to do with any of this? Well, I want to enjoy the ride. I'm going 45. That's the speed limit. I lock it in. It's a limited artificial intelligence. And yet we do have, I believe, active, developed superintelligence. How about that? What's it doing? Have you ever noticed how electricity can affect clouds? Can look at the patterns in the sky. That's part of it. And now the sun is going to appear, well, it would on this plane, stationary level plane, in about 20 minutes or so. And it's unlikely that we'll be able to see it. However, I'm not sure. I've been at the beach, which, like I said, is 4 miles away as the wind blows. I've been there and it's been really cloudy, and then when I go home 4 miles away it can be bright and sunny. And I've lived a good part of my adult life on the coasts, whether it's California in Seal Beach or the Corpus Christi area in Texas, and now in the Myrtle Beach area for over 17 years. I love it here. It's a mission field that comes to us, comes to me specifically. And if somebody wants to go ahead and just randomly show up and say, hey, I saw your videos and I wanted to meet you, or I've had people that actually have YouTube channels that have come here to check me out, including what I believe either was a fanciful story or the next door neighbor of Mr. Beast. How about that? The most subscribed YouTube channel in the world? Why not? So some people are controlled opposition, shills, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not the judge of them. I may look at what they're doing and say, yeah, that doesn't look biblical. If somebody's claiming to be a born-again Christian, then they should have biblical conduct and biblical beliefs, and yet that's all out of my wheelhouse. I don't control any of it, which is a real comfort. What it also means is that the Almighty is all-powerful and all-knowing, and He determines where everybody's going to spend forever and why. If it's a biological or physiological transporter, a body, what kind of body is it? Has it been taken over by artificial intelligence, spirit beings that are malevolent, like a demon? And what the Bible says is even the devil, even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. How about that? So looks can be deceiving, and in Matthew 5:21, many are going to say, Lord, Lord, didn't we drive out demons, work miracles, and prophesy. And he says, "Get away from me, you evildoers, I never knew you." He's all powerful and all knowing. He knew who they were and who they are. They just weren't his children. So divine intervention is required to love and believe the truth, let alone find it. All that I'm saying here is absolutely true and verifiable. And there are some beliefs that I have that are a challenge to determine the truthfulness of it. For example, the timeline deception. I believe we're living not only in a place and time that's different than the official narrative. I believe we have already had the second coming of Christ in around 70 AD, where the destruction of the temple was. There's plenty of archaeological and evidence, I should say, archaeological and architectural evidence of highly advanced previous civilizations that we can't even replicate what they did now, apparently. That's the official narrative. It's a mystery. The pyramids, the cathedrals, and all that. So along with some would view it as preterism. I just believe that many of the prophecies have been fulfilled, including the tribulation and the rapture, however that worked out, and then the tribulation, as well as the millennial reign of Christ. I've got plenty of evidence of that to lend pretty strong credibility for that statement. I wouldn't want to lead anybody astray. However, it's not ultimately a salvation issue. From what I understand, the only salvation issue is whether or not a person is actually born of the Spirit or not. The Holy Spirit, that is. Now I'm gonna pull into the Bolanos Travel Center. They've got a large, I believe it's an Olympian generator to provide the electricity for digital transactions, as well as pumping fuel and all of that. That could be really important. Planes are falling out of the sky, weird accidents. Are they being hacked somehow? I don't want to say anything that's going to get my video taken down. I just wanted to show you what it looks like here. I'm not even going to fill up with fuel. It would only take about a quart, because that's how little I've driven since I topped off last time. The two amigos. I see them around here quite a bit. So right in this direction there is where the ocean is, about a mile away. And one of the reasons why I wanted to show you this is because what would it be like if we could fill up vehicles with water instead of gasoline or diesel? They've got the diesel over there. And yeah, there's the Olympian generator in the middle of the view. I wanted to say good morning. I gave you a plug for your business here. You'll be on, yeah, good morning. You'll be on Facebook and YouTube. Okay. Do you own the business?
No, name is Pablo Rodriguez.
Pablo Rodriguez. Well, what I'm going to do is give you one of my cards. He can check it out. I'm RobertFoertsch, and feel free to reach out anytime, any of y'all, and let Pablo know, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. So in this, what can be kind of awkward at times, linking people together, I've seen this business around here for years, and I recommend them. So there you go. In the context of all this, impacting, I've pulled up to the pump here to fuel up, and if there's people down there that I might want to interact with, I can pull over there and offer them a card if they like. And it can be very brief. It doesn't have to be a long interaction. It can be very brief. And largely what I'll say is I'm exposing the truth about everything I've found out about so far. And if you think I've missed something or got it wrong, you could give me a call, put it in a comment, or send me a link. And I say you can call me anytime, because part of the dynamic of this is that telling the truth about things that are very controversial and people have a lot of emotional attachment to that can be. So largely people believe what they want to believe. That's part of where cognitive dissonance will drive people into their preferred perspective, their preferred belief. I don't claim to have any opinions. They're beliefs that I've looked at. I've looked at what contributes to believing what I do, and I prefer truth that has proof. Now this right here is a single wall copper. It's not thermal insulated. I prefer room temperature or warm, highly purified, carbon filtered, reverse osmosis water. What it will do is draw a little bit of the copper put it into my body. Copper is important it's a powerful electrolyte. When I bathe, I've got a ground wire running into the bathtub, and I've got electrolytes in there as well. Baking soda, boron, apple cider vinegar, sea salt, a tablespoon of each of those. And then I'll coconut oil myself afterwards. And what that does is provide somewhat of a body glove. Keeps the skin nice and moist so it doesn't crack open. I used to live in Wisconsin. I know what it's like to have the kind of heat and dry that's there. Out in California on the coast, it was a little drier, but in the desert areas, they'll have single-digit humidity and winds, as we've seen with the fires in California, of over 100 miles an hour, and then devastating fires that have occurred. And I've got lots of videos that cover that as well. Now let's see. I hit the wrong button again. I didn't turn my recording off. There, we're back. I'm back. Okay, so if you are on this live stream right now, it is a Facebook live stream. And then I will load it onto other platforms as well. Any of them that I feel like. And what I'll end up doing is I'll put the link tree in my in the thread and probably in the description as well. Now that's the Bolanos to the left. I get a lot of my produce and meats there at discounted prices. Quality food at reasonable prices. That's how I do that. It doesn't happen every day. It just happens enough that it works great for me. So the ocean is just over that sand dune, less than 100 yards away. Can't see it. So one of the reasons why we can't see all the way across the ocean is humidity, particulate in the atmosphere, optical limitations, and all that, as I talk about the stationary level Earth. The Earth doesn't move. You can't have level anywhere at any time on a spinning, wobbling, gyrating Earth with people stuck all over it upside down and sideways. And I know there will be some that say, well, I don't understand gravity. It's bullshit. It's part of a grand illusion for the globalists. That's what I got to say about that. Ooh, I've got a jogger coming. Couldn't see him very good at first. So I did really good in school. It was easy for me to get excellent grades and be on the honor roll and not have to take home homework. I applied myself really well during class time and set an excellent example for my classmates. And I was able to go home and ride dirt bikes and do other stuff I wanted to do, which certainly wasn't going to be homework. And what I found out with all that studious behavior was that, I flipped it around and I figured out how to do it better this time. With all that studious behavior and interest in learning, I found out that a lot of what I believed to be factual was intentionally deceptive. So there was information that was presented that was not true, was not factual. And then there was another whole category of relatively irrelevant information presented to teach a structure of behavior of remembering and regurgitating. So going over the information, remembering it, putting it on a test, that was viewed as intelligent and got good grades. However, that's not necessarily a barometer or a litmus test of intelligence. Being able to recognize what's true from what's false is very important, especially when we get to the big issues like where will I spend forever and why. Okay, so that's why I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth, because I'm actually born of the Holy Spirit and encourage everybody to examine the person and claims of Jesus Christ. You may know him as Yeshua, Yahweh. And there's other original language references too that refer to the person that many know, probably most know, as Jesus Christ. The living word, the living water, the way, the truth, the life, the almighty in human flesh. How about that? So, what are you going to do with that? Do you believe it's true? I do. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. I went from believing that Jesus was a fantasy for a good part of my life, after I was told in high school that he was just a created mythos to keep humanity in line, that the Bible was simply designed to control the masses. And to a certain extent, it has a lot of control of the masses, division and cohesiveness with like-minded individuals, respectively. So the truth itself is divisive. There's the truth, and then everything else, which is a grand illusion, a matrix of sorts. Let's flip this around. So there's a lot of suppressed technology. We could clean and power the world with water, or magnetism. I've got videos that cover that. The Lost Century by Stephen Greer, The Race to Zero Point Energy or Free Energy, Stanley Meyer in the Water Car, Joseph Newman and Etheric Energy, Nikola Tesla, all of that. And what I invite people to do, if you think I missed something, like I said, or got it wrong, you could give me a holler, send me a link. If you're going to tell me I'm wrong and you don't provide any proof of it, well, too bad. I need something to work with. I want to know what you're talking about. Just saying something doesn't make it true. Just believing something, of course, doesn't make it true either. All right. So I thought I was born again in 1982 when I came to believe that the Bible was true and Jesus was who he says he was and is, and I wasn't born again then. I just had an experience, as best I can tell. And then I was actually born of the Holy Spirit in 2014. So the short version is, I thought I was born again until I actually was. And I've had other people tell me that that was their understanding as well. It worked out like that for them too. Alrighty, so I'm going to just take us out for a little walk. Not a long time out there. There's not a whole lot to see. We've got a new concrete bathroom there. If there was a water spout out here, that's solid concrete there. So it would provide a little bit of protection. And people will come on in here and they'll talk to me quite often. This couple I've talked to on multiple occasions. Now, so for example, reality exposes the global lie. There's a puddle right here. Okay, but it's a little bit higher right there. That's why it's not getting to the drain. That's just how it works. And they let the faucet drip here so that it doesn't freeze. It's harder for moving water to freeze. There's a swimming pool right there. Now, if I had the resources and were living in in California or anywhere, could be anywhere, I would, if I had a swimming pool, I would want to have a large pump to be able to pump water on a fire. The fires like they occurred in California and other parts of the world can occur basically anywhere. Here we've got brick and concrete, and right over here is wood. Wood burns, concrete doesn't burn. Simple yet true. Why are most of the homes built out of wood? It's the way the system is designed. Do the billionaires live in wood? Not much. Mostly steel and concrete with subterranean features. Some of them have tunnels, big basements, and they're like bomb shelters. Why not? If you got the money, why not? So the acoustics and everything are different out here with a lot of fog. So the Prince Resort is about 2 miles away along the coast here, and right now I'm facing directly south. That's facing directly east. And as thick as this is, we won't see any sunrise here anytime soon. Now, in about 2 hours, it'll probably be very sunny. Maybe partly cloudy. God set the boundaries of the waters. We don't have to worry about the whole climate change, global warming thing. There is a global warming coming. Global. I use the term because they do. There will be a worldwide destruction of this world preceding the creation of the new heaven and the new earth. So I'm thinking if I walk up this way a bit that the seagulls will end up going to fly. That should be interesting. It's real pretty when they create big shadows because of direct sunlight, but we don't see shadows when it's diffused lighting like this. Good morning. So once again, my deep learning AI research library is collaborative. There are people all over the world producing content that I feature. I also refer to it as the Truth Network. And because I've got the truth tellers and the deceivers there, you can see it if you care to. And then you might hear a word that sounds unfamiliar or a topic you're unfamiliar with. And it's kind of like a place card holder for that information. And you can Google it or DuckDuckGo it or whatever engine you want to use. Ah, they're just walking away. That's funny. There, we've got a flyer. It was kind of funny. The other day I was out here and there was one seagull flying after another that had a fish. He's like, "Get your own fish," and he was squawking. They were kind of aerial duel. It was funny, kind of hilarious. So today the sun would appear right about over here. It's gradually moving south, or I should say north, I mean, and in the summer it'll come up over here. This gets really complicated dealing with medical causes of physical or psychological problems, as well as what the system views as acceptable treatments. Some actually effective methods of providing cure are viewed as quackery. That's how they want it to appear. So what's the truth about all that? Therein lies the challenge. How will you determine what the truth is? It's kind of complicated because there's intentional deception. Wood, concrete, steel, brick doesn't burn. In a big storm or fire, those would probably do pretty well. The wood down there probably would not. So, like 7 to 10 feet below the earth, the surface of the ground is a pretty stabilized temperature in the 60s. So a basement stays naturally pretty cool. Good morning. Hi there. How are you? He's okay. What's their name?
Him. Ace.
Ace?
Ace.
Hi, Ace. How are you? Good boy. Good boy.
All right.
Hope you have a great day. Thank you. So the reason for the name, the phone number is unique. There's only one of those, and that's an effective way of actually being able to reach me. Send me information if you want, and it provides some transparency. Good morning, Gary. Oh, here comes Chris. He's a surfer. I think that's Chris. All right, so I've had people reach out and had nice conversations with them, most of them, and a lot of times I'll ask a question like, how did you find my channel? Where did you find my phone number? Some of them find my phone number on stickers. Some of them find a comment on another video. I can't really put hyperlinks on other videos, or they'll just mark me as somebody they want to hide. I'm hidden on TED Talks. I can't remember ever seeing any acknowledgement of anybody liking my comment on a TED Talk, where on other truth-telling channels, quite often there will be either direct replies to my comment, or they may like it. They may like the comment. So what I had figured out in having a library that's comprehensive and crossing over multiple topics is that there's something there for everybody to like and not like. Okay? And it kind of works like that. Even the globalists and space cadets are going to be loving their Elon Musk, and I'm going to be showing, hey, he's a military-industrial complex provider, and he blocked me permanently from the X platform for exposing the truth about so many things. Free energy, the space fantasy that's being promoted, and cyberspace is largely what's being referred to. They can put people into an altered state and into an artificial environment, cybernetic collective of space cadets, maybe. But there is the technology to actually transfer, apparently, that's what DARPA is saying, and the Brain Initiative and the documentaries on that they have found a way to put a person's personality and memories and all that in silico, in a computer storage system. Quantum supercomputers apparently are hypergaming humanity, linking people up with the Wi-Fi, cellular, Starlink, Skynet, and all that. Also, the Trumpster never let me on Truth Social. I wanted to set up an account the day that it came out, and it said I was banned. I was associated with a banned phone number. So if you're trumping it up, and believe me, I love a lot of what I see him doing, yet I believe there's going to be some challenges with that. Remember, the big print give in a legal document, the big print gives, the small print takes away. So there's a lot of really things that people approve of right now. Many, the majority, probably are liking the how would I say, the deportation of illegal aliens. That's got to be very difficult for people that have been here for quite some time and are established with careers, businesses, and all of that. So what I believe about it and how I feel about it is actually irrelevant to what happens to the individuals affected by it. It's out of my wheelhouse. So I do believe that for sure the illegals, dangerous criminals that were let out of prisons to come here and topple the American dream or really corrupt our society, that's a problem. And then we've got another type of alien, illegal alien, maybe the fallen one. A third of the angels fell along with Satan, ended up here in this world to corrupt and deceive humanity. It's only by God's grace that anybody can love and believe the truth, let alone find it. That's why I believe the most important truth is to recognize the need to be born of the Holy Spirit, and then to actually determine to the affirmative that it happened. If somebody is believing a lot of lies, why is that? Excuse me. It's not my fault. It's not my fault where people are going to spend forever. They're not going to be in hell because I chose to sleep in instead of go to the beach and hand out truth cards. And I believe that's the way it is for everybody. We're not going to have family members in hell because we had some sinful behavior in a life that they saw and then they passed away in our unregenerate situation. Happened with my mom. She died of cancer treatment over 31 years ago. It gave me some real curiosity when I found out that apparently there's plenty of cancer cures. Yeah. Yep. I learned a lot from my dad, and he and I worked to develop like the first, not like it, as far as I know, it was the first mulching mower in the early 70s, and he sold steel to heavy industry, the military industrial complex, and farming and all that. He took the idea to New Holstein at, let's see, I believe it was Aaron's, and they took it to market. Mulching mowers. Made sense. It took what would view to be a yard waste that would fill up a landfill and mulch it up, cut it into small pieces, and put that fiber and nutrition back into the soil, so it was a healthy way of doing that. So one of the keys to accessing flow states, where, like Stephen Kotler talked about, effortless effort, is to be curious about how things work, curious about what's really going on. You can hear Lissa Johnson talk about curiosity and the omnivore, David Hughes. On my Facebook, if you like or are questioning some of what I'm talking about right now, you can go to my Facebook timeline and scroll through there. You could spend a long time. A lot of my Facebook posts were turned into tweets. Twitter, I had almost the same amount of tweets as Elon when he finally booted me off of there. I'm not all mad at him. It's kind of like a badge of honor. Same thing with Donald not letting me on Truth Social. Why? Why is that? So when his campaign direct messaged me, a lot of times I would send links to my link tree, which is many of the platforms that I'm on, and I made sure that Google is in there, the Google of my name. If you click on that, you'll get results that are in some cases unique to me, and there are a few other RobertFoertsch's, and you can see what that is. What either people are saying about me, some lie about me. You might find something very derogatory. It's probably not true. So if you're concerned about something about me, like, you can call me and talk to me or text me, any of that if you care to. So there are people like Elon is talking about wanting to create one of the most powerful computers in the world to solve the mysteries of the universe. Well, you need to stop lying. He's like how would I say, like a timeshare salesman for transhumanism, wearing his Baphomet costume, champion of hell costume, apparently. What's that all about? Why is that? And he's got a transhuman emphasis. We don't have to wait for anybody to bore a hole in our head and connect wires. There's the non-invasive technology, which is nanotechnology, that's being put in the food, water, and air and manipulated by electronics. You can see DARPA talking about it, the Brain Initiative, Dr. James Giordano. There are people that are globing it. They may have a globe on their shelf and they're telling plenty of truth, but they're showing something that's not true in the globe. So the globe is real, real deception. Reality exposes the global lie. Reality exposes the truth about everything. So this is the truth about everything I've found out about so far. So when I'm not doing live streams, and you might think, hey, you haven't done a live stream in a week or two. I've been spending hundreds of hours updating my research library, sending information through the Truth Network, trying to expose the truth as best I can without getting banned from other platforms. So you can click on the links that I have there. You can, some of you listening to this are probably a part of what not only I'm doing, what we're doing is exposing the truth about everything we've found out about so far, what we believe is important for people to know. So there may be ideological differences that I have with people whose work I share, spiritual beliefs that are very different. There's a veritable spiritual smorgasbord that humanity is dining on. Like I say, largely believing what they want to believe because of appetite considerations, preferences, and that type of thing. I got here as a matter of life and death, okay, because I had, a suicide attempt in 2005 while on pharmaceuticals, and they made me suicidal and homicidal. That's why I don't take them anymore. Haven't had the need or the perceived need to be on pharmaceuticals. For the last it's more than a decade now, or illegal or illegal drugs. Not interested. I like my coffee with coconut oil, about 6 ounces in 80 ounces of coffee, and then a teaspoon of sea salt and a teaspoon of baking soda and a quarter teaspoon of boron. They put boron in capsules even, but it has health benefits. So do the baking soda and the sea salt. Sodium chloride is not healthy. A full spectrum sea salt, very healthy. Micronutrients we need in the proper homeostasis of our body. Ironically enough, apparently it even reduces blood pressure because it helps the proper function of the cellular interaction and the mitochondrial conversion of calories to energy and the cellular cleansing. Looks like a cat with hair on it. I've got 3 naked kitties. Oh, there's 2 big dogs that Gary has in there as well. Anyway, I'm not going to have this be a... you're welcome, Brian. I appreciate your encouragement. You know, the whole this whole situation is fascinating to me. The symphony of humanity that are at varying stages of learning and understanding. And so what's counterintuitive, I would say, in the truth movement, people want others to know the truth, but if they're viewed as a shill or controlled opposition, they want to either block them or not look at what they talk about. That can be a problem because a lot of the controlled opposition so-called will present a lot of truth. Think of Alex Jones. Reese, Greg Reese, has been, I don't know if he still is on the Alex Jones network, but he has shown some pretty compelling evidence exposing the global lie. I met him at Dallas in 2019, I believe it was. I met on the Denver, Colorado Flat Earth International Conference. I'm in the Logan Paul mockumentary, as well as an interview that we had together. And so you might find it humorous. I'm at about the 27-minute mark of the, I think, 52-minute or so mockumentary, where he basically trolled the flat Earth. Oh well. I reached out to him. We talked. I gave him a gospel message telling him that unless you're born again, or you need to be born again or else, so it's not just only about the shape of the earth. It's about the fact that the Bible is true and the Bible gets it right. God's word gets it right because he's all powerful and all knowing. That's why that's right. And a lot of so-called Christians will show the let me swallow. The majesty of creation, including showing the globe like it's true. The globe is not true. The globe is a lie. That's heliocentrism for those of you that maybe are unaware of this topic between flat Earth and globe Earth. So there's a lot of animosity with people on that. I've got powerful documentaries in my library showing that. Now, there's a lot of false information out about anything that's true yet unpopular with the control grid, the matrix. By design. So the truth is going to sound crazy to the deceived. I know it. They'll even say it. Well, that sounds crazy. Yeah, but it's true, depending on what the topic is. And so there's a kaleidoscope of conspiracy theories to obfuscate or hide the truth, make it sound crazy. So people that are already viewed to be a little odd are going to end up potentially getting a lot of truth that sounds weird and will alienate others from that whole look investigation. They're going to go, that's crazy. He's crazy. That's crazy. I don't want anything that he or she has going on. Well, that can be a problem. So rather than having one topic that I champion, I put it all together as best I can with the help of others. So you can put your name and phone number if you want in the comments. So either I could call you or others can call you if you want. You can put links to whatever topics you believe or information would be beneficial to consider for me or others that are looking in on this. And if you see that there are comments I haven't referred to or recognized, it may be that I just haven't seen them. Sometimes the artificial intelligence, so-called, will hide information from me, like commenting and that type of thing. And because I'm on a lot of different platforms, including other people's videos, I have, as far as I know, it's pretty hard for me to see something on a video, a different channel like PewDiePie, unless somebody mentions me, puts @truth or @RobertFoertsch. I'm not sure which one will, maybe they both work out. I don't know. Things change. They change a lot of things to affect, how would I say, to further the deception. So there you go. It's been a pleasure to go ahead and talk to you today. Like I say, some of you I haven't ever heard back from, and that's fine. I have high school friends, that people that I knew when I was going to high school that have called me, and people that I've never met face to face that will call from anywhere in the world, and that's cool too. So it can, what I've been told by people that knew they could call me, just knowing that they could call me if they wanted to, made a difference for them. And then when we talked, they said, I'm so glad that I called you. I'm so glad that we talked. Because quite frankly, telling the truth in a world that is filled with so much deception is rather unpopular with the masses. However, those of us who love the truth are interested in interacting with truth tellers. So there you go. Thank you so much for your public and private encouragement.